Welcome to EduCasts, home of EduCasters. Assessment, measuring holistic growth. ELT demands a reevaluation of assessment practices. If learning is holistic, assessment must also take in the big picture. A purely multiple-choice test only measures abstract conceptualization. A fully integrated assessment strategy should include performance tasks, AE/CE, hands-on projects, live presentations, simulations, and role plays. Reflective journals, RO, essays or journals requiring metacognitive reflection on the learning process. Conceptual exams, AC. Traditional tests of theory, synthesis, and analysis. By using a diverse assessment portfolio, educators ensure that a student who struggles with synthesizing theory, AC, but excels at hands-on application, AE, is still able to demonstrate mastery. Professional development and lifelong learning. ELT has massive implications beyond the school classroom. It is the gold standard for adult learning, professional development, and corporate training. When training professionals, the model is often compressed. 1. CE. Present a case study or immediate problem, e.g., this team is underperforming. 2. RO. Engage in a group analysis of the case. 3. AC. Introduce the management theory, e.g., servant leadership. 4. AE. Require the trainee to develop and implement a 30-day leadership plan. In the world of work, the pressure is constantly on for employees to step up to the plate and move through this cycle quickly. A high-stakes project completion becomes the CE, the post-mortem analysis becomes the RO/AC, and the new process changes become the AE. No comprehensive theory remains untouched by scrutiny, and Kolb's ELT is no exception. While its influence is undeniable, critics have rightly pointed out areas where the model may fall short or require refinement. Major critiques of the model. 1. Lack of empirical support for the cycle. Some educational researchers have struggled to find consistent empirical evidence that all learning experiences must follow the rigid four-stage sequence. Learning, in reality, is often messy, nonlinear, and instantaneous. A profound moment of insight can move a learner from CE directly to AC, skipping RO. Critics argue that the model, while conceptually appealing, is an oversimplification of complex neurological and psychological processes. 2. Cultural and contextual bias. The theory has been criticized for being potentially biased towards Western individualized learning styles. The emphasis on abstract conceptualization and formal theory building may disadvantage learners from cultures that prioritize communal learning, oral tradition, or implicit practical knowledge. For example, some professional trades rely on knowledge that is shown and mimicked, CE/AE, rather than theorized, AC. 3. The Learning Style Inventory, LSI. The instrument Kolb developed to measure the styles has faced significant psychometric challenges regarding its reliability and validity. Critics argue that the styles can be unstable over time and that assigning learners to a single quadrant may not accurately reflect the context-dependent flexibility they exhibit. 4. The social dimension. A significant critique is that the original 1984 model focused almost exclusively on the individual learner, seemingly neglecting the vital role of social interaction, collaboration, and cultural context. Learning is profoundly social, and ELT was slow to fully integrate Vygotsky's concept of social development or Bandura's social learning theory. Despite these valid critiques, Kolb's theory has not been put out to pasture. Instead, it has evolved and been embraced as a pragmatic, adaptive teaching tool. Kolb himself and subsequent scholars have worked to clear up misunderstandings and expand the model. 1. ELT 2.0, the holistic view. In later work, Kolb emphasized that the model should not be viewed as 4 steps, but as 2 continuous axes representing adaptive competencies. The goal is not just to complete the steps, but to engage in adaptive movement between feeling, thinking, acting, and reflecting. This flexibility is what truly defines the expert learner. 2. Integration with other theories. Modern instructional designers often use ELT as the structural backbone for activities, but beef it up with other theories. For example, project-based learning, PBL, uses the ELT cycle, but layers on cooperative learning structures, social theory, and scaffolding, Vygotsky, to ensure students are supported as they move through the stages. 3. Practical dominance. Regardless of academic debates over its psychometric purity, ELT is arguably the most influential single theory in the practical fields of management education, outdoor education, and experiential training. Its straightforward elegance makes it incredibly useful for instructional design. The idea that you must stop and smell the roses, RO, after a difficult action, CE, before formulating a better plan, ACAE, just makes intuitive sense to trainers and educators. The theory serves as a powerful reminder that real learning goes the whole 9 yards. It's messy, uncomfortable, and requires the learner to grapple with new information through every part of their being: their hands, their hearts, and their minds. David Kolb's experiential learning theory is a towering achievement in educational psychology, a profound synthesis that has permanently changed the game for educators. By defining learning as a process of transforming experience and formalizing this process into the 4-stage learning cycle, Kolb provided the necessary conceptual tools to move beyond the passive rote learning models of the past. The insights drawn from ELT encourage educators to design curricula that are richly textured, forcing students to take the plunge into concrete experiences, compelling them to mull over their observations, challenging them to come up with coherent theories, and requiring them to put their money where their mouth is through active experimentation. Furthermore, the 4 learning styles compel us to recognize and address the diverse needs of our students, building educational environments that support the diverger's need for imagination, the assimilator's need for logic, the converger's need for technical application, and the accommodator's need for action. While academic debates continue to refine its structure, Kolb's experiential learning theory remains a foundational, highly pragmatic, and deeply humanistic framework. It asks educators to cultivate not just knowledgeable students, but adaptive, reflective, and complete human beings who are capable of navigating the lifelong, spiraling journey of learning. The theory sets a high bar, one that calls upon every teacher to become a facilitator of genuine experience, ensuring that students are truly making headway on the path to holistic development.